In retrospect, yeah, that was kind of an intro, huh? In retrospect, that kind of was the intro of all time with a title like that, huh? I spilled my water. The intro never gets old, I know. We made it that way. Hello, everyone! Oh my god, the Pope part aged badly. Fuck. Fuck, oh my god. Wait. I haven't streamed since the Pope died. Where is it? I know it's at the end. No, that's a different Pope, right? That's not Pope Francis, right? That's not the right Pope. Pope Francis. That's not the same guy. That's a different guy. This is a white man. That's him? No. No, this is an entirely different guy. This is like a white British guy. The Pope? I don't think is that. I don't think this is the same guy. We're safe. The Queen? Okay, are we now insinuating that everyone that is in my intro dies? Because we could be in for the funniest weekend. Just saying. We could be in for the funniest weekend. That being said, fucking VTuber drama this morning, huh? Fuck. Triple on the ice bears, yeah. Don't you mean polar bears? At my hands. Yeah, so there's only like 300 black-footed ferrets left. You know, there's only like 300 of those fuckers left? Hold on. How many black-footed ferrets? Oh, 500! Hold on, I thought that was only 300. That's not great. That's not great, but better than what I was expecting. Is that an increasing or a decreasing amount? I don't know. Because I remember doing a school project on this, and it says there were 300 back in, like, 2016. So, if it's 500 now, I guess it's on the uptake. I guess that means it's on the uptake. This is what happens when you do arts and crafts. My beautiful, beautiful green background is fucked. Anyway, look at this, like... Look at that. And then look at that. Yeah, look at this thing. This thing is cool. This is, in a bag. This is a bag that's about this big. And it has on the inside paper. And this is the closest thing that I could find on the internet to hold, wait for it. Wait. Have some fucking patience, please. Patience? Can you calm down? Why are you freaking out right now? Calm down. Everything's okay. Hold on. Oh no, my keybinds. Ah! What did I move? It's the closest thing I could find on the internet to this. It's the closest one I could find. So we could work some magic here, I think, is what we could do. I think we could do some magic. It's the closest that I could find. So we can do something here. What I was thinking of is I could use the clay. And the I put the stamps that we used last time? They're on the floor somewhere. One moment. Oh, Jesus Christ, where are they? So I was thinking we could use the clay and, like, little lettering stamps to recreate the thing that says boss on there. I think that would be a coolish idea to do. And then we have these from last time that we need to paint. And yeah, if there's anything else, we can just do this. What are you up to? I'm literally explaining what I'm up to. Did you join? Did you join? And then within like 3 seconds of joining, you were like, okay, I'm going to ask a question. Instead of waiting like 5 seconds to maybe like digest some context clues. Some critical thinking. Some critical thinking skills. A true cosplayer would learn leather working. How much money do you think I have? Oh, Renona! Oh, Renona! Oh, Renona! How I love her. Renona, if you buy a scab of us, I'll give you the merch for free. That is what I will do. Actually, should I get paper? Nah. I just use this tub as a crafting board. All your paper is in the bag. That's true. All of my paper is in here. It's good to keep the shape, I think. I don't know if I will even actually ever take this paper out. Because it keeps the shape nicely. That, or I could put my illegal stickers in here. I could put my illegal stickers in here. Anyway. Let's get the fuck to work, people. Let's get the fuck to work. So what I'm thinking of is there is a thingy here. And I could, like, flatten my clay on here. Like, imagine that it's flat and somewhat rectangular. On there, and then it's not in the right place, but it fits there, and then we write boss on it, and then I move. I can't move it to the other side. And then we'll just also make like a touchy, and then I can probably, this is really thin, so I could punch holes in here. This is all doable, and then, yeah, we can figure it out. That's reflective. We can figure it out. Is it less reflective on that side? Slightly less reflective on that side. Bag looks great, thank you. I bought it on Amazon. I did nothing. I did absolutely nothing in this scenario. I would like to get, I was in Echo's stream yesterday, and she was buying some, like, ASMR equipment. And she was, like, watching different videos to get inspiration, and there was one that she watched where, you know those ASMR microphones that are shaped like ears? She watched one video where they were, like, putting things inside of the ears, and then using, like, sculpting tools. Like, sculpting tools to, like, pick it out and make a good sound out of it or whatever. So I was like Amazoning because she didn't know what they were called, and I was like, oh yeah, those are sculpting things. So I was Amazoning them, and it did make me think I should maybe get some of those little, like, tools to, for this kind of stuff. I think that would be kind of fun. Use this to get, like, a flat-ish shape. Because right now, like, I have, like, does this work? This is blunt. I haven't used this knife in years. Like, I don't know how I would go about getting, like, a really square kind of shape. Save for... No, I don't really even have anything that is, like, square to use as a mold. I guess I could, like, maybe try pulling it. That work? Kinda. When the Freddy Fazbear cosplay, once again, my hypothesis of Brandon just comes in here and says shit is it becomes truer and truer every day. There we go. I think, yeah, that's kind of the right-ish size. It's not clear how the animated one would work. Is it closed with a magnet? Like the drawn one? I don't know. I imagine it's pretty primitive and probably doesn't even have like a locking function. I imagine it just kind of flops shut in my brain, at least. Actually, wait, it's my bag. It's my bag. I own the bag. I get to decide how it works. I have decreed that it just kind of flops shut. Kinda, nearly getting there. Badge is cute! It is cute. Because I had ordered another one that was different, and albeit not as cool looking as this one. But then that never showed up, which was pretty awesome. I don't want this to be too thick, because that is going to look a little bit funky, I think. But yeah, this is super simple, and I think this will, like, dry by the end of stream as well, so we should be able to paint it in the same stream. Unlike the paw brooches that required a little bit more fiddling. But yeah. Is this the kind of leather that feels like it'll flake? I'm scared of buying leather things so that a leather bag once and it flaked badly. This does definitely feel like cheap leather. I don't know how easy it will be to tell if I kind of bring it up here, but if I peel this up, you can just about see exactly how thin this is. This is incredibly, incredibly thin. I'm not expecting it to last super long. It has a lovely feel to it, but it's very thin. But it does feel... No, I don't know. It feels like it might be faux leather, actually. And I don't know if faux leather flakes or not. But I did have a relatively cheap, like, leather messenger bag when I was in high school, and that thing, towards the end of its life, flaked like crazy. You can oil? Will that, like, change the color of it? Yeah, leather's not a fabric in my strong areas. I was gonna say it's quite nice with the kind of handmade nature aesthetic is that I can kind of make things look a little bit rough around the edges, and it's not gonna look super awful. It is gonna just kind of look like it's supposed to do that. I had a dream last night that it was like, I don't think it was Halloween, but it was like some kind of costume event hosted by my family, but I didn't have my cosplay done in time, and everyone was clowning on me for it. So I woke up and I was like, shit! I have to finish my cosplay! Otherwise my family's gonna make fun of me. It's not done in time. Just find the letters B, O, and S. I already see B. B. Ow! No, I'm wearing a white shirt. Okay, everything's fine. my letters in here, so if I happen to be missing O or S, that is kind of gonna suck a little bit. I have the littler ones, but I want to see if these work before I try the littler ones. Okay, that is not the whole alphabet. Okay, we have an S. Any zeros? Any O's in chat? Any O's? Any zeros? Any circles? That's a smiley face. I suppose that could work. I could use a Q. I could use a recycled Q. Okay, oh! Nope, that's the letter D. Okay. I do not think I have the letter... think I have the letter O. So, we'll, Actually, did it fall out of its pot over here? Use an 8? I don't actually think I have it. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, come on over there. We'll make it work. It's not like it's a hard letter. It's not like it's a hard letter to make, right? It's a circle. I will be fine. Okay. Actually, wait, are they too big? They might be a bit big. Might be a bit big. Where are my little ones? Then you'll be able to read it. Let's, give it a test. Okay, it's hard for you to see, but it actually kind of works perfectly, I'm not gonna lie. It does kind of work perfectly. So it's put the indent in there, not as strong as I want it to be, but now I can get a tool of torture. I can obtain some style of torture device, and I can carve it out. Actually, is this gonna be... Guys, check it out. This, right? Does this not just look like a regular screwdriver? Wrong. 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 It has shit on the inside. You fucking idiot. You thought it was just a screwdriver. What's wrong with you? It would be the best shape thing. Ooh, that one. Or that one. Or that one. One of those two. That's shit on the inside. Just like a person, exactly. Oh, is it where you had torture devices? Hello, Lewis. I feel like that should be the least surprising thing about me as a creature on God's green planet. Screwdriver! I thought it was a hammer! You might be stupid, unfortunately. But that's okay. Not everyone can be awesome. Okay. So, when this is dried and I paint it, I can just paint this over so it becomes very obvious, but I do want to have that kind of textured design, you know? I just think that would be cool. Sue me. Anyway, yeah, something title of the stream. I wanted to, like, I don't know. I was in the I'll explain you through this, okay? I was in the shower. I was like, wow, I really should stream. I haven't streamed in a very long time. And then it was like, I feel like it'd be really YouTubery and cool if I had a stream titled the stream where I talk about clinical depression. I was like, that's a really cool stream title. But then I didn't really think past that point. I will be honest, because being honest is something that I like to do. So I didn't really come in today with like an idea of what I wanted to talk about. But I did realize that I have not streamed in a very long time. And if you're on Twitter, there's a high chance that you know why. But not everyone is on Twitter, which is very understandable. So I figured I would do a stream. Kind of going over stuff, more or less, I feel like I just kind of rehashing the stuff that I've been talking about on Twitter Spaces in a place that's like slightly more accessible, because not everyone is on Twitter, not everything's on Twitter, B, not everyone is there when the Twitter Space happens, and C, not everyone goes back and listens to the Twitter Space when it's over. And I feel like having relatively important information locked away on a Twitter Space probably isn't the best way to go about stuff. And I'm just so benevolent and awesome that I figured I would, you know, treat you all, even the non-Twitter Space listening plebs of you all. Okay. That was actually really easy to do. It was actually really easy to do. You can't really see. There we go. You can kind of see it a little bit there. I will... That was so quick and easy to do. I will just set that aside, let that dry up a little bit, and then once it's a little bit more solid, I can kind of shape it up a little bit, and then we can go over the coloring. And because of how quick that is, we'll also do the like the little touchy face keychain. I don't know where I want to put it. Probably on this one here, I think. I don't have any great jewelry making stuff right now. We'll probably just like rehash one of my other keychains. But as long as I can get like the general shape, I think it should be okay. But yeah, clinical depression. Yeah, it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks because I feel like I was so hyped. Why did I throw that jar away? Shapes. There we go. Okay, first of all, it is a little bit funny. The last big project thing that I worked on was Party Time. Which, for all intents and purposes, is the most insane, incomprehensible piece of bullshit I think I've ever made. Slash pause, in a good way. And then immediately after Party Time, my brain was like, okay, what, hear me out. What if? So, in that retrospect, it is a little bit funny. The joke is not lost on me. The joke is not lost on me. I'm also at the same time like a little bit mad at myself because like Party Time was like picking up traction in a pretty decent way, in a way that I am definitely proud of. And then I was having my debut 2.0, and I had merch coming out, like just things were going really, really well. But when those kinds of things happen, that's like doing a really good project and then they're just keeping up momentum. And you can't just make something awesome and then drop the momentum afterwards. You might as well have never made anything in the first place. So that kind of sucked. We separate? Yes. But I have no choice in the matter, so... Oh, well. I cannot change these things. As the Japanese animes like to say, it cannot be helped. But I figured it would be relatively interesting to talk about. I didn't want to at first. On one of the Twitter spaces, I kind of mentioned how when people are, like, physically ill, if you have broken your ankle, right? People like to hear about it. Like, people... No, like is the wrong word. People want to hear about it. They want to be involved. They want to know if there's any type of way that they can help. And it's generally seen as, like, a pretty normal, good thing to do. To talk about when you are physically injured or physically ill. But there's, like, a weird double standard when you are injured or ill in the, I guess, mental kind of way, where it's seen as, like, generally kind of taboo to talk about. With, I suppose, semi-decent reason. I do understand it, especially if we're talking about in the sphere of, like, VTubers or, influencers, YouTubers, entertainers, whatever at large. Is because people are, like, watching videos or streams or whatever, typically it's a form of relaxation. Like, I struggle to see any other type of reason for people to... It's entertainment, right? So people are typically, like, coming off of, like, a hard day of work, hard day of school, and they're like, shit, man, I'm so exhausted, I kind of feel like crap, but it's okay, because I'm gonna go on youtube.com, and my favorite people are gonna be making something new, and it's gonna make me feel a little bit better. And then when those, like, kind of symbols of relaxation and escape from the world start talking about the same kind of issues that you are going through in your day-to-day life, it can kind of put, like, a blunder on it. So I do get, it's like, I'm not trying to act stupid as to why I don't know why this isn't a very well-spoken about thing, or, like, a kind of taboo thing. I'm not trying to act stupid about it, I understand, I get it. Doesn't mean that I don't want to kind of, like, point out a little bit of the double standard. And I'm definitely not the first person to point out the double standard. Absolutely will not be the last person to point out the double standard. It's just a thing. And because of that kind of existing unspoken rule, I haven't really been posting or talking or really doing much of anything the past 2 weeks now. Because I have been depressed, I've been, like, mentally ill. And your kind of two options are you talk about it or you shut up. And I was like, okay, the talking about it road might be a little bit tricky, so I'll go with the shut up road. That's my option, that's my poison, that's the poison I'm picking, is the shut up. But then you kind of get another dilemma where you're like, okay, well, what's my excuse? But I can't outwardly say, I feel like shit. I feel depressed, so I'm gonna disappear. So what do you say instead? So I don't know, that's kind of a tricky thing, I feel. It's like figuring out what is your excuse instead. I should really stop trying to do these streams where I try and talk about stuff whilst I'm also multitasking, because I get really distracted with the thing I'm trying to make. Yeah, in my mind, I didn't think this bout was gonna, like, last too long. Which is why I just kind of, like, I didn't even make, like, a real Twitter post about it. I just kind of took a screenshot from Discord, because I didn't think it was gonna last too long. But we are now a week over how long I thought it was gonna last. I think I didn't even post anything on YouTube either, which is an oversight. I should have. I forget that the community tab is a thing. I'm not gonna lie. I use it for schedules, but I don't know if anyone actually looks at the YouTube community tab for schedules. Okay. So this is really thin. It definitely needs another layer on the backside. Ooh. But because of how delicate it is, I'm gonna wait for this to dry a little bit more, I think, before I try and reinforce it. I'm trying to get the shape of the cheeks right. Yeah, it's a good starting place. Pop that there. A little bit. We'll come back to that. But the UI change, oh my god, the fucking oh my god, I hate it. I hate the new YouTube UI change. I'm a little bit excited because it does mean that I get to study thumbnails in a slightly different way. I do love me some good thumbnail dialogue. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the YouTube UI stuff. So yeah, I didn't really, like, plan in advance exactly what I wanted to talk about. I just felt like I had to kind of mention at least something or other, because otherwise I just have been vanished on the internet for a couple of weeks, and that's never really a good look. I did specifically title the stream Clinical Depression, to kind of, like, maybe have a gateway onto conversation about, like, the different types of depression. Because I think when I mentioned, like, oh, I am depressed, is, you know, there's like 1,001 ideas that people now have in their mind, and not all of them might be correct. So that's different types of depression. I just realized I need to hot glue these, which means I might have to disappear from the camera real quick. Hold on. Okay, let me turn the hot glue on. I'll take that down there. 1 second, I'm turning the hot glue on. Need to clean this goddamn room. Why is arts and crafts so messy, right? Why is it so messy? So many items to go. Whilst that is cooking. Yes, cooking. Nope. We have that for reference. Paintbrush. Where? Like, oh. Where? Aha! Dude, I found it! Sienna should work perfectly fine. Ooh, do you want some yellow? I don't know where my yellow paint is. It's somewhere. In a second. Oh wait, no, found it. Oh, I'm a genius. Had fun time. So yeah, there's like a lot of different types of depression. All have different names. Some of the definitions are definitely kind of stretched in some places. But you can have, like, depression that is caused by an event. So maybe that is the loss of a loved one, or losing your job, or how the pandemic, right? That caused a lot of depression in people. Typically, most times, not all times, this is kind of like short-lived, short-term depressions. They can last for a couple of months to maybe a few years. Really depends person to person. There are postpartum depressions. Danger Dave mentioned postpartum depressions. That is, typically, after people have given birth and they've become parents. Postpartum depression is like a hormone imbalance where the hormone, so like giving birth is like a highly, highly traumatic event, but your body releases these hormones to kind of make you forget about it. Postpartum depression is when those hormones aren't properly released, so you don't forget about the traumatic parts of childbirth and you remember them, and that formulates as a type of depression. There's psychotic depression, manic depression, but for me, what my depression falls under, or like the title here, is clinical depression. Clinical, the definition of clinical being like a medical thing. So for me, I was diagnosed with depression when I was like, these are Gumai canned eyes, by the way. These are my vitamins. I diagnosed with depression when I was like 13, I think. But I've been showing the symptoms, or I've been portraying signs of that depression ever since I was a little kid. Because I've been insomniatic ever since I was like a little kid. Like I remember so vividly, like school picture day, which is what you have when you're like, what, 5 years old? I remember the teachers always scolding me for having like giant eye bags under my eyes on school picture day. So probably since at like that age. And in my case, my type of depression is considered genetic. So it just runs in the family, which sucks. It sucks. But then it puts me in a position, which is really frustrating. I think a lot of people don't understand when they're like, oh, when I mention depression, they're like, oh my gosh, like, are you okay? What happened? I'm fine. I'm fine. Everything is okay. Everything is okay. I love my friends. I love my job. I love my family. I love where I am in life. I love my hobbies. I am having so much fun. Everything in my life is looking up right now. I am moving out. It's summer. You can see how sunshiny my desk is right now. My dog is hanging out. She's awesome. Everything is fine. I'm just depressed. And it sucks. It sucks. It's genetic. It is clinical. There's a high chance that I was born with it, and there is a high chance that I will die with it also. It sucks. But there's no cure for it. Okay, hold it. Hopefully that's ready. Oh, Liz. I think these should be okay. Alright, so I've glued these little middle sections on. It's not very strong though, hold on. Oh, my headphones! No! Here we go. Yeah, that's just long. Another type of depression that mention is seasonal depression. Which is why I'm so mad that I'm like depressed right now, because the weather's so nice outside. I want to go outside and enjoy spring. I'm so mad. I managed to be depressed for the entire 2 weeks that the cherry blossoms were blooming. I missed this year's cherry blossom. I'm so mad. I missed the cherry blossom. I'm so mad about it. That sucks. I'm so mad about it. It's like they're kind of just like brown on the floor outside now. I'm so mad at myself. Like really? Really? The 2 weeks that I decided to be depressed at? That sucks. Actually, let me hot glue my paintbrush back together. Arts and crafts. Another cherry blossom. I'm so mad about it, dude. I'm so mad about it. Like, if I had just been depressed like 2 weeks ago, everything would have been fine. Okay, so we're gonna start with this burnt sienna, which is gonna be like our base color, and then we're gonna build up from there. So yeah, everything in my life is fine. I love everyone. Everything is going awesome. I'm just miserable for no goddamn reason. But then it becomes really difficult to open a dialogue with people and talk about it, because they will rightfully point out and like, oh, but everything's going fine right now. And it's like, yeah, I know. That's why this sucks. Alright, cherry blossom tree. I've been having reoccurring dreams about eating taiyaki. I want taiyaki so bad, dude. I want taiyaki with scrambled eggs. And sometimes I feel a bit of an outlier when it comes to taiyaki, because I don't really like ice cream taiyaki. I'm definitely more of like a savory taiyaki person. Yeah, so it kind of sucks because not only is there the guilt of like, why do I feel like this? I shouldn't feel like this. Everything is fine. But then it's also very difficult in trying to get people to like kind of understand where you're coming from. Because outwardly, there's no reason for it, which I guess makes it really difficult for people to understand, which it makes sense. It does make sense. I have way too much almond. I have to trim some of the glue as well. With the sort of depression that just comes on, do you think going on antidepressants helps? So I am on antidepressants. I will most likely be on antidepressants for the rest of my life. But there are just times like this where it just happens and there's nothing you can really do about it, unfortunately. There is no cure. They're just straight up, there is no cure to depression. There is not a cure to a vast majority of, like, mental health related, like, mood stabilization or mood destabilization based thingies. Which is, again, another reason why this is so frustrating. It's because, so I am on the maximum amount of antidepressants that someone of my size and weight can be on. Like, I can't just go to the doctor and be like, hey, can we up my antidepressants? Because they're like, well, no, that we can't actually do that, unfortunately. And if I try to, like, double dose, or even not even double, the kind of the symptoms that comes with that are horrific. I've tried. So yeah, that's like another thing that is very frustrating. And again, with people who don't fully understand, it's kind of like the first thing that they'll mention. That, and then therapeutic. What's the word I'm looking for? Therapeutic help. So I have been in therapy for depression. But again, when it's clinical, when it happens for seemingly no reason, what do you talk about in your therapy session, right? Because if you have a type of like grief-based depression, where say maybe you lost a family member that is incredibly close to you, there are therapeutic professionals that are trained to know how to talk to you about those kinds of things. But when it just happens because of some kind of chemical fuck up in your brain, what are they gonna talk to you about? What are they gonna talk to you about? Now, I will say, I haven't been in therapeutic care for depression for a very, very long time. And I still think, even if you don't think therapeutic care will do much for you, it is still something to try. And once I have the resources to, once I've moved out, I will be entering therapeutic care. Because just because it is something that you're like, you are born with, there is still a therapeutic effect to like be able to talk to people, to kind of at least understand that. I have things all over my hands, so I'm gonna go get a wipe real quick. If you're surrounded by people that don't really understand, like, how can you be sad when everything is going fine? There is still value to talking to a professional who does understand that. And I think not a single person should talk off, or like, should sign off on therapeutic care without even trying it. I think if you're someone who also does have like clinical depression, I think you should still try therapeutic care. Even if you think that it can't help you, I can give it a shot, because at least you're gonna get the opportunity to talk to someone who actually knows the name of your medical condition, instead of just being like, you tried having a hot cup of coffee and going on a nice long walk outside? Which, by the way, does help. It does help. So don't sign it off just because it is clinical. Still go for it, because even if you don't think there's anything that you can talk about, you're gonna go talk to a professional who knows how to get you to talk about stuff. Just because you don't think you're gonna benefit from it, or like you don't think that you have anything to talk about, you're gonna go talk to a professional who knows how to make you talk. Trust them a little bit. Trust in their degrees. Yeah, I still think it's something that everyone should try at least once. Yeah, back to me, because this is my house and I get to talk about whatever I want. For me, a lot of like my, I guess, depressive symptoms manifest in the form of exhaustion. Which is always really funny when I talk about this kind of stuff, because I think a lot of people, including like my own closest friends, I feel like the opinion of me is I am a very like hyperactive, high energy person, which is correct when I'm streaming. I don't put on a character on purpose when I'm streaming, but when you are doing literally anything that is falling under the umbrella of, like, performance arts, even if you're not actively trying to do it on purpose, you're still displaying a slightly different version of yourself. Even if it's just yourself, but slightly more hyperactive. It's still a quote-unquote different persona. And my quote-unquote persona is much more hyperactive than I actually am. And that's okay. I love it. I love turning on the camera, and I love being high energy. Just turning up character exactly. Like my voice, right? Everyone knows this isn't exactly what I sound like. Like, you guys have heard me when, like, my family walks into the room. You guys know that I have, like, a weird sleeper British accent. But I'm not doing this on purpose. I'm doing it because I'm just really, like, I'm a very, like, escalated, excited version of myself. Which for some reason manifests as American. I don't know why. But when I am not streaming, I am a very, and I cannot stress this enough, please stop messaging me. I do not like to talk to people. I don't like messaging people. I don't like hanging out with people. I do not like socializing. I am a very introverted person. To a criminal degree, I am an introverted person. And I am introverted because I am tired. Because I am exhausted. Because I cannot get out of the bed unless I am on 1,000 milligrams of caffeine tablets, caffeine mints, and Red Bull. I am so tired all the time. I get asked if I'm wearing makeup, like smoky panda eye makeup. Because I'm so fucking tired. I'm wearing a white t-shirt. This is great. All of the time. And that is definitely, I think, like a part of it. And it sucks. It sucks. I feel like I miss out on a lot of opportunities because I'm so tired all the time. Is like, if I just had a little bit more energy, I could be like networking. I could be meeting people, I could be talking with people, I could be strengthening my bonds and relationships with people, I could be getting involved with things, getting my name out there. I'm just so tired. And not because I didn't get like enough sleep last night. I have an energy deficiency disorder. I have clinical exhaustion. I was tired. And TLDR, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about because I haven't been streaming because I'm tired. I sit down at the computer and I go, I should stream. And then I go to bed and I lie down in bed. I'm tired. So that's why I haven't streamed. Have you gotten tested for sleep apnea? I have not gotten tested for sleep apnea, no. I should probably go get tested for anemia again, because I think I was kind of diagnosed with anemia when I was younger. But the doctors didn't really do anything with it. They were like, yeah, you're probably anemic. And we were like, oh, okay, what do we do? And they were like, oh, well, you have to get a blood test. And I was like, I have a phobia of needles. And they're like, okay, cool. And then we just never spoke about it ever again. So maybe I'm anemic. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. That could be a part of it. I have no idea. I can't wait to move out and go see a doctor. At this point, it's like a little bit nerve-wracking because I have two options, right? I go see a doctor and they tell me, yes, your severe exhaustion is actually a symptom of XYZ. Or they say, no, there is no reason behind your exhaustion, you're just built like this. And I don't know which outcome is more terrifying, because in the first one, it's heartbreaking because I know that there could have been a solution my entire life that I just did not have access to. Or the latter, where I realize there is no solution, I am just like this. Both are equally terrifying outcomes. Not gonna lie. But just having the answer will be nice. Because at least you can move forward with it. I'm very painfully aware of my caffeine dependency. I think like a lot of people try to hit me with the gotcha. They're like, oh, you're addicted to caffeine. You have a caffeine dependency. You're addicted to Red Bull. Like, I know. I'm aware. I'm not addicted, I am dependent. You take away my caffeine, I can't do anything. I'm aware. I just don't have a replacement. I don't have an alternative. If you haven't caught on already, this is gonna be a very, very not exciting stream. This is gonna be a stream where I talk about sad things or miserable things. A late solution is better than no solution. Exactly. CPAP gaming. I do know. So my whole life, I was kind of under the impression that sleep apnea was like an old person issue. But I do know friends who have also been diagnosed with sleep apnea. But a lot of people are like turning down the treatment because the treatment makes them worse. Which definitely isn't a reassuring thing. I spent a decade and a half with a caffeine dependency before I was able to get properly medicated. It sucks. It does. It's more of a fat person issue. I'm telling them you said that. I'm telling them that you said that. Anyone else got the urge to eat paint? I'm so excited to tell you that in art college, I would say possibly 90% of people do eat paint. Not for fun. It's just sometimes a lot easier to clean your paintbrush by licking it than it is to dip it in water. What I would do with a pin right now to hold these in place without getting my hands dirty. She says, knowing that I have a pin around here somewhere that I could CPA. Things sit and dry for a hot second. Mostly thing that gets worse or more common with weight. What color tastes the best? I can actually, to me, paint doesn't have a taste. It tastes cold 90% of the time, just doesn't have a taste. Hello, all the best. Hello, Ruka. That is, I joked about this on one of the Twitter spaces. A weird upside of this, like, last couple of weeks of feeling like shit is I've been, like, actively going out and trying more different new things to try and, like, break myself out of it. Such as I've been painting more often, I've been cooking more often, I've been crafting more often. So that has been, like, a weird, upside. Pardon me. Is that in my pursuit of making myself snap out of it, I've been getting a little bit creative. Creative with it. I just think there is a market for tasteful paints. I don't think that eating a little bit of paint when you're painting is bad for you, but I also don't think that we should be at a stage where we're encouraging it. IMO. Yeah, I don't really have anything groundbreaking to talk about. I just kind of wanted to let people know, where I've been and why. And I also wanted to make all of the funny, deprecating jokes about releasing a cover and merch and then disappearing for 3 weeks before anyone else could. Oh, it is interesting to talk about. Horse race tests. Big into horse race tests. I don't think that that's the real ending. I am absolutely sure there's gonna be more. Mume dies today. Cinder. All I'll say about the Cinder situation is because it is still, let me refresh Twitter. It is like still happening right now. It's like, it's still ongoing, so I don't want to say anything too soon. But I would like to rehash an opinion that I had of Cinder about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, which was I always thought it was so strange that... So I've been in VTubing for a really, really long time. I've been VTubing for about 5 years, which means I was there when a lot of the biggest people in VTubing right now were getting their start. And for anyone who wasn't around back then, or maybe just doesn't remember, Cinder first started getting really popular via the method of purchasing really expensive scab art featuring herself and a lot of really popular VTubers. That is how she first started getting really popular. I'm sure she was popular before, like, I'm sure she had a history of streaming, I'm sure she had a fan base, but I am talking about when she broke into like the indie Twitch mainstream. The way she did that is by buying just a fuck ton of scabs of her and really popular streamers, and then of course, because this was amazing, beautiful $300 scab art, they would retweet it and thank her for the artwork and so on and so forth, and that's how she got in with a lot of these crowds. And I always thought that was really weird. I always thought it's because the animated fire on her model. This was way before that. This was way before that. So that is like one of the first times she ever broke into the quote-unquote Twitter mainstream. And I remember always thinking it was really weird because around the same time there was another VTuber who had a very similar way of getting really popular, which is where she would go to other really popular people's streams and she would dump a lot of money on donation. And people were calling her out for it. At the same time that Cinder was getting really popular for basically doing the same thing, but in the form of scab art. And I remember thinking it was a really weird double standard. But that was it. That has been my only ever opinion of Cinder. That's like, I've never met her. I don't know what she's like. We've never spoken. I don't think we've ever interacted. I just remember, like, 4.5 years ago, thinking that was pretty weird. Which, mind you, has literally nothing to do with what has been going on now, but just an observation. I remember thinking that was really weird. And then, yeah, fucking Gamer Subs has been in the ringer a little bit with all of the whatever the fuck stuff. And Cinder is she like a, I don't know if she's like a stockholder of Gamer Subs or if she's a, oh no, she's a owner. Yeah, she's a partial owner of Gamer Subs, so awful way for Gamer Subs. Yeah. The other Gamer Subs related stuff, I'm not gonna make any comment on. I saw one of the people involved posted like a photo of all of these quote-unquote like grifter tubers and like tagged them all being like, support these people, and it was just like, oh fuck yeah, free block list, baby. Free block list. I wanted to comment free block list, but then I realized that's probably what the point was. That's probably what the bait was. They really wanted people to comment free block list. So I didn't fall for it. I did just get to block people, which was great. Awesome. Little tacky feeling. Probably get started. Oh, shit. Recent news. I'm trying to think what's been happening the past week or so. Another reason why I also kind of wanted to extend my little breaky break was because, I entirely forgot about the fact that my mom was going on a vacation from Monday to yesterday. So I haven't actually been at home. I've been at my mom's. Footy, do you remember the forgotten drawing? You're supposed to show it, but didn't. Can you show it? Unfortunately, Melia, I am not going to be showing any more drawings, and I am going to have to ask you to please stop asking about it. Vacation? Anyplace interesting? No, just like a resort caravan park in England. That's a relatively funny conversation topic, actually. Is, in my mind, when... It's like the difference between the European definition of caravan park and then like the American definition of caravan park. It's like when I think of trailer park or caravan park, I think of like a vacation holiday resort, but like the American version is just like where people straight up live. So, important distinction. They didn't go to a low-income housing area. They went to a vacation park. Important distinction to be made. These clay props look super good. Thank you, Slow. Thank you for trying. Love you. No worries, Melly. I really do appreciate it that you are drawing. It's an awesome way to get like down and creative. But unfortunately, I cannot stop every stream to showcase, but I will always be retweeting things that use the proper hashtags. Ooh, exciting news! I won't say too much, because it's not my place, but I can confirm to some some people who will find this to be very exciting news, that a bunch of VTubers that you all know and love received invites to something pretty exciting recently. That's all I'll say, gamers. They also have holiday trailer RV parks here, a brand of them called KOA. I've never heard of that. Same here in Ireland. I think it's like a European thing, right? Invites for what? On the basis that I'm not specifying, do you think that I am going to tell you? Also in pretty exciting news, not other VTubers you would know and love, but me specifically. I'm working on a collaboration for probably one of the coolest things that I have ever done in streaming and will probably ever do in streaming. Again, not my place to talk too much about it right now, but I can give some clues because I don't think anyone will be able to guess. So I can give a little bit more clues in regards to this one. But at the same time, I do want to keep it a little bit exciting. Physical location, collaboration items, UK, summer. Those are your teaser words. Those are your teaser words. Curiosity's in overdrive. You'll find out. Wouldn't it would be fucked up, right? It'd be fucked up if I was like, oh yeah, the super awesome thing is happening, and then I just never talk about it ever again. You'll find out. One day. One day. This is just a very detailed collaboration that is going to require a lot of advanced planning. But pretty damn awesome. I'm using like a glitter. I'll probably have to go on top of the glitter again at the end. Getting an idea. I think if I go like heavy with the glitter on the top of the claw, and then kind of fade it in a little bit at the bottom, I'll look pretty natural and metally. Yeah, like that. That's cool. At the Mythic Double Greg's. You know the combination Pizza Hut Taco Bell? Could we do combination Greg's? I don't know what we would combine it with. I don't really like Greg's all that much though. I'd fuck up like a combination Subway. Combination Tesco Subway. I know they do like combination co-op Subway, but I'm not a fan of co-op. Combination Greg's and Spoons, can't turn that down. Is there Greg's outside of England? I mean, there's Greg's in UK, like in England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland. Outside of the UK, I have no idea. Combination Pizza and Taco Bell is a real thing. I know! I know! I am aware! Ugh. That body is great. I always felt like a specifically English thing. I think that is because, and I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, I don't think Greg's is all that cool. I don't think Greg's is all that cool. I like how the music ominously ended when I said that. I've never seen I've never, like, understood the joys of Greg's. And I don't know how to say this nicely, but I don't think the English have great taste in anything. I've always found it so funny. Why are there so many? What are they doing? Money laundering bakery. Something, something, something. Enter joke here. you just buy boxes on Amazon? I'm gonna assume that you can just go on Amazon and buy boxes, right? Like, completely unrelated to anything we're talking about, but I feel like you could just go to Amazon and buy, like, flat pack cardboard boxes. Surely, right? I don't know where else you would buy a flat pack box from. For hell, maybe even multiple. Hell, imagine even 3. Pardon me. What is mostly the food I assume? What the fuck are you talking about? Hold on. I mean, that is mostly the food I assume. Surely, Footy, you could figure better taste in other... What the fuck are you talking about? About Greg's? Huh? I'll be flying for the first time in a few months. Got any tips for dealing with airlines? I don't have any tips for dealing with airlines, but I do have tips in regards to flying. Do not bother by packing a games console. Do not pack a book. Do not pack a Nintendo DS. Do not pack a Nintendo Switch. Pack 18 melatonin tablets and slam them all the second the gate closes. Arrive early to the airport. Learn the process. No, don't even worry about that. No. 18 melatonin tablets, the strawberry kind that melts on your tongue. I wanted to shitpost something about Welsh food, but after I googled Welsh dishes, Google AI just listed a literal leek. Yep, that's it. That's all we eat is just leeks. That's all we're allowed to eat. We talk about British culture and how the food sucks. I mean, I feel like specifically it's Greg, right? If you're American, sign up for TSA pre-check. Yeah, if you're going anywhere near America, sign up for TSA pre-check. And then also, do you guys know that you're not allowed to lie to TSA? I didn't know that. I'm taking my headphones off. And my nose is itchy. And everything hurts. Painkillers don't do anything. Fuck my stupid Chungus life. Do you guys know that you're not allowed to lie to TSA? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Not so much a lie to TSA, but like, did you know that you absolutely have to tell the truth to TSA? Because I have been detained on multiple occasions. Because I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Was it about the streaming equipment? I think it was for a lot of things. So, first of all, I want to like really stress the cultural difference between authority in the UK and America, right? America is very heavy on the concept of authority and then also respecting members of authority. But in the UK, you kind of take the piss out of any type of member of authority, and they can't really do anything about it, and no one really gives a shit, and no one really respects them. Which sounds rough, but it's the best way that I can set this story up. But in America, authority cannot handle a little joke. Like, okay, if I'm talking to a police officer in the UK, I can joke about, like, having a bomb in my pants. I'll talking to a police officer in the UK, and I'll be like, ha, you know, no, I hope you don't search me. I definitely don't have a bomb in my underpants, ha. But in America, you can't do that. You can't do that. They will detain you. they will put you in what's it called? What are they called? Fuck. I forgot the name of it. Not an isolation cell. What are they called? What are they called? Isolation interrogation? I can't remember what they're called. You will be detained and you will be interrogated. You just can't do that. Interrogation holding cell? No, it's like something isolation. Individual isolation? It's something isolation. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's individual isolation. Fuck, I can't remember. So, yeah. I'm a very private person. Everyone in my real life knows this about me. Probably has something. Solitary confinement! Solitary confinement. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I got it fucked up. It was solitary confinement. Thank you. That is the legal definition. It put me in solitary confinement. So yeah, I'm a very private person. Anyone in my real life knows this. I do plan my trips abroad without really telling anyone. I don't really tell people when I'm going places, I just do. I'm a very private individual. So, you can imagine that when I go up to the TSA check, and they're like, where do you get all of this money? Or, what job do you do? I'm not gonna fucking give you an answer. I don't even tell my grandparents what I do. I'm not gonna tell a random ass office employee at the airport. Little did I know that you legally have to. I was not aware of this. So when I was like being very cagey on purpose, they translated that as, oh, you're breaking the law. We're going to put you in solitary confinement, delay your flight, obtain your luggage, and search you. Because you're trying to move to America to work illegally and steal jobs from the American people. So, my airport advice is, if you're traveling around America, don't make a joke, don't lie, and don't keep secrets, because they don't like that. They don't like secrets. They don't like it. They don't like secrets. But at the same time, like, if you were not aware of the fact that you had to, like, treat these people, A, like the fucking royalty, and B, like, tell them everything about yourself, like, no one, there's no signage that says you have to be 100% honest with these people. There's, like, nothing, there's no signage that warns you. And, like, to me, these people are, for all intents and purposes, they are strangers. So when a stranger asks me to open my fucking banking app on my phone and show them my banking information, I'm gonna say no. I'm not showing you my banking information. And I feel like for a country that's all about, like, their rights and freedom, I feel like I have the freedom to not have to show a total stranger my banking app. So, I kind of, I get it, but at the same time, I think I had a point. I get why they detained me, but at the same time, I feel like I had a point. I'm not showing you my banking app. What else? What else? Let me... They shouldn't be asking for that. That was a power trip. I feel like that's also, like, a big part of it is a running joke that TSA are on just a constant power trip. But it is absolutely true. I don't know if I've ever told this story before. I feel like I've probably told it somewhere. But there was a time where I was traveling with a friend. We were traveling out of Ireland. And I always get pulled over. I do, in fact, always get pulled over when I am traveling. And in this occasion, our flight was leaving in about 15 minutes. And I was held in solitary... No, this wasn't a solitary confinement situation. I was held in an interrogation for the duration of that 15 minutes. But my friend wasn't. So naturally, my friend is freaking out. My friend is like, what should I do? Because our flight is leaving in 15 minutes and the person I'm traveling with has vanished. So they ask a member of staff and they're like, hey, I was traveling with someone, where are they? And the member of staff points them over to, like, the room where the interrogations happen. And they're like, oh, your friend is probably in there. You can go stand outside and wait for them. And that's all that they were told. So they go stand outside. And one of the person that was being interrogated, before I got there, left out of the exit that they were stood outside of. And they were like, oh, okay, so that's where I go. So my friend walks in through the exit of the interrogation room, which you're not supposed to do. And the TSA officers are freaking the fuck out, and they're like, they escort them out the room. And because I'm still being interrogated, I hear them talking afterwards, and they're like, oh, what should I have done? Should I have pulled a gun on them? Should I have pulled my gun out? And it's just all power trip bullshit. Like, a normal person would have looked at a very confused person walking into a room looking for their friend and been like, hey, I think you're in the wrong place. Can you wait outside, please? And maybe, we'll have someone explain the situation to you. No, let's pull a gun. No, sorry. Let's escort them out and then joke about pulling a gun and shooting them. 10 out of 10 security forces, people. 10 out of 10. USA. USA. You do have the right to not show them your information, but they will just deport you. Exactly. And something that I also didn't realize, I always thought, because, sometimes I do catch those TV shows. I know there's, like, a really popular show, but it's based in Australia, like border control in airports. I was always under the impression that if for any reason that you are delayed from your flight by airport security or TSA, that they, like, refund you, or they put you on another flight. If you get held up from your flight by TSA, because it's considered a lawful intervention, they do not have any right to refund you for missing your flight. Or, like, if they said that I was not... So say if I'd paid for a vacation in America, and they turned me away from the door, like, they turned me away from the airport and said I couldn't travel, they do not refund anything of your trip. They do not refund the flight tickets, the hotel, the trip, anything. So, if you pay for a full trip to America, happen to not know any of these secret silent rules about having to show them your banking information, and they just detain you and turn you away, that's like, in some people's cases, that's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, pounds, euros, whatever, just down the drain. They have no right to repay you. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is why Europe is so much better for traveling. They didn't cancel my flight back from the UK, but it was delayed by 4 hours, and they refunded me half the price of the flight. I read about I read about, it was like a Reddit post of some European people who were like backpacking into America. And I sent it to my friend because it kind of had a lot of similarities between the issues that I have with TSA when I'm traveling. And it's so, like, my American friends were like being, they were like, oh, well, you know, So the post was about these people who were backpacking, like, from Europe into America. But because they were backpackers, they didn't have, like, they hadn't booked hotels or transportation or trips or restaurant reservations or anything ahead of time because they're backpackers. The whole point of backpacking is you just kind of go with the flow. You don't book ahead of time. You just figure shit out whilst you're on the road. That's the whole point of backpacking. But they got turned away, and, like, detained at the border because they couldn't show, like, concrete plans of what they were, like, gonna be doing on their trip. And they got held in, like, prison overnight. They were, like, they had their items taken from them. Or, not so much taken from them, what's the word? Banished? No, what's the word? Forbidden? What's the word when something gets taken from you and you're not allowed it? It's like confiscated, that's it, thank you. They had all of their items confiscated. They were stripped and put in, like, prison outfits. And this, I think it was just, like, 3 girls. It was 3 European girls on a backpacking trip. Treated like full-on criminals. And I was sharing the story with my friends in, like, absolute, like, disbelief that this is allowed. And my American friends were all kind of, like, defending it. They were like, well, yeah, what were they, like, expecting if they didn't have any plans? And then I was like, are you guys aware of, like, how often it is for Americans to come to Europe and backpack across the entirety of Europe? To the point where it's a stereotype. Like, it is a stereotype for Americans, especially, like, university-age Americans, to come backpack all over Europe. But the second that people try to backpack from Europe into America, it's like, okay, no, you're being held like criminals in a prison. Fucking double standard much. An absolute double standard, man. I'm from the US and I hate things that are like this. Pretty Ferntile, I have a question. Okay. Melia, I need to let you know, if there is a message that you've sent several times and I haven't read it, it's probably because there's something in your message that I can't say out loud or I can't read, and I'm not reading it on purpose. If I haven't read your message, please do not spam your message over and over again. If I haven't read your message, there's probably a very good reason as to why I haven't. I think we need a lot of border reform that ensures both security and ease of passage. Surely there's a middle ground that can be good for everyone. It's like, there are countries who have absolutely mastered it, and I just don't, well, no, I do know, but that's a whole fucking can of worms. That's a whole thing within itself. Yeah, it's just a crazy double standard. And definitely doesn't make me excited. Doesn't fill me with joy. Why fix a problem when you can campaign on it for years and years? Yep. I've seen American vloggers do crazy stuff. I don't know, it's crazy. And it's like, I have kind of like a cocky attitude when it comes to traveling now, because I've been in that situation of being detained so many times where it doesn't really stress me out anymore. I'm just kind of like, yeah, fucking whatever. But at the same time, I have no idea if it's gonna be, like, my last. I have no idea if I'm gonna be sat down in the office with someone who had their lunch a little bit late today and is deciding to be an asshole because of it, and then I am just, like, barred from the country forever. One of the first times that I was traveling from Ireland to New York, I remember so vividly, do you know how there's, like, flight attendants, and then there's, like, the head flight attendant? The head flight attendant was talking to me and was like, I hope you're ready to go through American security. Like, if you thought it was rough here, you have not seen anything yet. And I kind of thought that he was being sarcastic, because he was kind of like a, you know, a very obviously kind of gentleman, older, and so I just thought he was kind of being a little bit sarcastic with it. But no, oh my god, he was right. Nothing could have prepared me for it. Anyway, I don't want to talk about TSA anymore. I am now bored of talking about TSA. You know what poutine is? Poutine Fest is in Canada. I actually know what poutine is. I think poutine, it's like cheesy chips, right? I think? I don't fully know what poutine is. This is a good enough. If you could, like, compare it to that one. They look really different in person, but on the camera they look more or less the same, which is really good. I'll just keep that there for reference. It's cheese curds? French fries with brown gravy and cheese. What is a cheese curd? What's a cheese curd? I'm not gonna lie, just the word cheese curd does not sound appealing. I will be very forthcoming with that. Yeah, we got very much so sidetracked by the concept of American TSA and a Twitter trauma. Streaming. So in the last Twitter space, I said I want to come back, like, maybe this Tuesday, so then I can reuse the schedule from the canceled week, but, and a big but, and I cannot lie, Tesco's is being a jolly organization, and will not give me my antidepressants until Monday, maybe. And there's no guarantee that Monday rolls around and they're like, oops, actually, we can't give it to you anymore. So, we're probably gonna see what Tesco says to me on Monday. And then I will be able to give you a good answer. I do want to do a stream I wanted to do this stream yesterday, and then I wanted to do a Chikawa art stream today where I draw my friends as Chikawa characters. So maybe we will do like a gorilla Chikawa stream tomorrow. But if not, that'll be maybe this, like this coming week sometime. But I do have some collabs lined up with my lovely friends. I do have some collabs lined up for, I've been talking about how I have, my single-player Minecraft world. I've had the help, from a friend Kifis to port it into a multiplayer world, and I can have my friends come on and like build stuff on the single player world and kind of like fill it with memories and stuff. I've been talking about that, and I have gotten like the first couple of people to say that they want to come on, so hopefully that'll be the next couple of weeks or so. I do have one person confirmed for, I think, May the 4th? May 4th. You guys want to know who it is? You guys want to know who it is? We need to be surprised. JK, it's Rower. It's Rower. Rowa's gonna be... I don't know if Rowa's gonna be the first guest. I don't know, like, what dates everyone else is thinking. But it may be that Rowa is gonna be our first guest. I don't know what she wants to build. But I have a hunch that she will probably want to build a fishing hut. So I'll have to finish the kind of like ocean-based area, like the water-based area. Where she can build her fishing. May the 4th? Will it be Star Wars? I don't like Star Wars. I don't like Star Wars. What did the rigger say about the jerkiness of your new model? I'm not gonna lie, I have not messaged my rigger. I have not done that. I have not messaged anyone in a very long time, aside from 3 people in regards to the Minecraft server. I have many unread messages right now. And I'm banning myself from talking to anyone until I have dealt with aforementioned messages. So I have not messaged my rigger. Hi, Fudu. That is not my name. But hello. Do not DM her. DM who? How long have you had the little board for? Oh, this? It's kind of wobbly because there's hot glue on the back. I have no idea. Probably a very long time, though. A very long time. Burrito? Do not DM her. Do not DM Furi Ferntail at 3 AM. Do not message. Whoa. Hello, Nicholas. Thank you for the $5. Thank you very much. Thank you. Do not message me. Do not talk to me. Do not perceive me. Just don't like even recognize me as a person at any point in time. When someone says, Furi Ferntail, you go, huh? What are you on about? Ah, I love when painkillers don't do what they're supposed to. Ah! I'm scared of the monsters in Minecraft. Making a peaceful mod and building a survival house for you. Ah, thank you. Thank you. Where does it hurt? See. I can lie about the answer. I can lie about this answer for fun, or I can just refuse to answer it. But then if I refuse to answer it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But then if I do answer it, there's gonna be some fucking freak out there who's gonna make a chart about it. So I don't want to talk about it. But at the same time, everything. I love being a woman. I love being in pain. You like the way that I smile with no emotions on my face? Look, I'll do it again. Look at the way I don't move, but I smile so eerily. Is it scary? I'll do it again. There is no joy in the smile. There's no joy. I thought you were gonna say your hip. I should have said my hip. That would have been a great idea. Ooh, can you see the sun setting for a second there? Do you see the sun setting? It got darker. I'm sorry for your pain. I'm sorry, women. I'm sorry. Who is menstruation and why is he doing this to our women? We need to unite. How could he do this? Ooh, I forgot about... Hold on. Are these... How dry is this now? Oh, that's pretty damn dry. I'll turn that around and let that dry on that side. For that. Did you see the live-action movie of Monster High 1 and 2? Because it's really good, but 2 is more likely funny. I've never seen anything about Monster High. I'm sorry I wasn't there when... Fuck! Okay, back to HRT. I'm absolutely convinced that this is gonna be... So, before the final race, and I'll be very honest, before the final race happened, I was telling everyone, like, you know what, I'm actually pretty glad that horse race tests is ending. I think more media should have, like, actual defined endings. I don't think everything needs to be serialized. I think sometimes some stories really benefit from just an actual tangible ending point. Sometimes, you know, beating a dead horse, you know, franchise can't last forever. It's just sometimes really nice to wrap a nice little bow on a story and have it be its own standalone media. That was my opinion before the final race. What the fuck was that ending? I have on my phone. I literally... Hold on. This is my live reaction. This is my real, actual live reaction that I recorded on my phone for my friends. Come on. It's so scary. And it just goes on like this for a real... I live recorded my reaction. It was so ass. At the very end, when the credits were rolling, I was like, okay, it has to, like, pan away, and there had, like, it fades to black, and then we get, like, a new screen, and all of the horses are, like, they're together again, like, Cyan wakes up in a field of grass, and all of their friends are surrounding them, and they all bumble around a field together, and it didn't. So because I didn't like the way it ended, I'm convinced it's gonna be an ARG, okay? I'm convinced, okay? They removed, they removed Jovial from the banner. The guy just does this in his spare time. I was scrolling back through his Twitter to see the other stuff that he's been working on, and he first started posting sketches of the horse race test horses in, like, November of last year. This guy is definitely very eccentric and /or high-functioning schizophrenic, and their portfolio is amazing. Like, if you guys have the time, I definitely recommend scrolling, like, go to the Twitter media tab and just scroll down to like before horse race tests started, their portfolio is really interesting. They have some like very unique pieces of artwork. It's definitely very very Newgroundsy, right? There's just something about the Newgrounds art style that screams high-functioning schizophrenic, and I know that's a bad descriptor, but that's it. And it's very interesting, and it does seem like this guy has a passion for kind of ARG video game style experiences, so I really do hope we get to see something else. Maybe not like a one-to-one rehash, but I'd be very excited to see something come out of it. Does this... He said you want to do live stream tournaments. Yes. So in an interview, I think like the day before HRT ended, he spoke about the idea of like having live streamed charity tournaments where the races happen in a live stream and then people can bet real money on the horses, and then like all of that money goes to charities and stuff. However, like, so a lot of people are like taking that from the interview and saying like, oh, it can't be over because he hasn't done that yet, but I could be misremembering. I don't know if he said that as something that he absolutely wants to do, or if that was just like an idea that he had that he might not actually take to fruition. So, I don't know. I don't know if he'll actually go through with it. I love this gold paint. This is so nice. So shiny. Sparkly. But another thing that I've really enjoyed about kind of the whole HRT franchise past week or so, is it really does feel like it's been really nice to watch happen, because to me it has kind of shit. I don't know how to explain it. It's proved the feeling of like, not everything has to be like made in a lab by Hollywood executives to have like the winning formula to get people to like something. Like, your project doesn't need tens of thousands of investment dollars. It doesn't need 1 million of the world's best celebrity voice actors. It doesn't need all of the bells and whistles. It just needs to be good. It needs to be engaging, and people need to be able to make something from what you have made. And I think it's a really, really good example of that. I feel like it's really shown that it doesn't matter what you make, as long as it's fucking good, then you're golden, you know? I'm doing a really bad job of explaining it, but I don't care. I don't care. It's just my opinions. That's how everyone felt about Undertale. I do not like Undertale, but I know exactly what you mean, and I do agree. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby, you can get a bit of glitter on there. Love to see it. If shit is enjoyable, people will keep engaging with it. Exactly. I feel like I'm definitely not the first person to have ever made the connection, definitely not the first person to ever pointed it out, but it's a big thing. The people like to accredit the success of like young adult novelized fiction to is the ability to like project into what has been made. For example, Harry Potter, right? You have Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and that opens a category for you to insert yourself into the story. Warrior Cats, ThunderClan, RiverClan, WindClan, ShadowClan. You can insert yourself into the story. Divergent and all of the different whatever groups they had. I feel like you, for a piece of media to be super, Homestuck Trolls, right? The Homestuck Trolls. I think there is definitely success to be found in something that has a semi-formulaic way for you to insert either yourself or like an OC into the narrative. And I feel like that's another reason why Horse Race Test was good, or why it caught on so quickly, is because yeah, there was a formulaic way for you to insert yourself or your OC into the narrative, but also you could insert whatever whatever personality or whatever story you wanted onto the pre-existing characters. I feel like that is also another really common way for these projects that become super, super popular. It was really funny seeing Jovial win 3 back-to-back and then flop with everyone called. No, listen, Jovial did not flop in the final race. Jovial was single-handedly holding off a 1v3 against 3 nightmare demon horses, while superstitional realism was up in the donut, running around in circles for like 8 minutes straight, okay? Jovial was single-handedly fighting off demons from hell while Superstition was doing nothing. Jovial did not flop. Jovial was not a fraud. Superstition was just not pulling her weight, okay? Don't shit-talk on my good man Jovial's name. Don't do that. I'll get you. Okay, I think these are done to a degree that I'm happy with, especially because these are just gonna go on the belt. These are nothing special. What I can do, we can, oh wait, wrong way. I have an idea. What this fucking look like. Whoa, fancy. How do you speak your truth? I've never not spoken my truth in a day in my goddamn life. I'm not a people pleaser. I say whatever the fuck I want. I don't have any silver paint. That kind of sucks dick, actually. Why don't I have any silver? Why? Believe this for a hot second. I have no space in my room. I have no space in my room for this. On the windowsill it goes. Over there. I was betting on Jovial. I wanted Cyan back. I do wish it ended with Jovial and Superstition being able to get Cyan back and be the heroes and win. I do wish that's how it ended, but at the same time, I do get and I respect the want to like have the outcomes be random and stick to it. and kinda stick to the motto that, you know, not everything is a happy ending. I get what they were going for. But at the same time, man. Okay, so I'm gonna basically make this super, super, super pasty and squishy, and then I'm just gonna turn it from, like, the width of a penny and make it kind of raised on either side, is what I'm thinking. And then figure out a way to make silver paint. I'd make some type of gray, and then see if I have any, like, super fine glitter. Really don't know how I'm gonna do this, actually. We'll cap it on yellow. Yeah, yellow didn't get a name. Because at least Cyan got the fan name of Decon Blues, and then also got the Demon from Hell name version in Garbage Bin, but yellow never got a name. Like a fandom, like a fan decided name or a demon name. It's so sad. Justice for my lesbian horse, bro. I do like Decon Blues as Cyan's, like, fan name. I do like that a lot, but at the same time, I feel like if Cyan was to be called Decon Blues, it would kind of, like, immortalize her as a loser forever. So, maybe it's not actually the best name for her. I like them having no name. I didn't even know they had a fan name. Yeah, it's based on a song for, like, a popular edit that they had. But the song is kind of about, like, I can't remember the exact lyric, but it's something like, you know, everyone, like, remembers the names of the winners, but does the loser get a name? My name would be Decon Blues. It's like it's a song that just fit very, very perfectly with the character, I guess. But it's like, the song is about a loser giving himself a name, and I don't know if that would be, like, very respectful to Cyan's character. I'm happy that Pink got to win at least once. I'm kind of suspicious about what was going on in the Pink race. There was just so much that was fucked up about the Pink race. The freaky, like, background vocals, the way that the race, like, a jump cut in the middle, the cursor was cyan colored, the victory music played before she even touched the apple, which wasn't a carrot, it was an apple. There's a lot of very suspiciousness going on. And I don't know if we'll ever get an explanation for it. I don't know if we'll ever get an explanation for it. Are you saying she cheated? I don't think she cheated, but there was something wrong with the race. Like, there was something wrong with it. I think we can all agree there was something wrong. But I don't know, and we'll never find out. But I do love the memes of people being like, yeah, she never won a race before because she doesn't like carrots, but she really likes apples. That was good. The reward was an apple, not a carrot. I mean, maybe she's just allergic to carrots, you know? Maybe she just really fucking loves apples. Yeah, we'll never know. Mystery will never know. Stop asking questions before you get put into solitary again? Oh my god. The horse authorities, they're coming for me. Oh, I can't believe we've been having this entire conversation about horse race tests and I haven't pulled out the jovial merriment photo card. This just needs to live here. I just have this. The jovial checky, right? Who else on the planet has one of these, huh? Huh? Yeah, actually, I can show you guys the checkies. I was so mad. Hold on. Why do I have 10,000 wires wrapped around? I have one here. And they are just so faded. Hold on, let me like find a good example. Look at how faded this is! Look at how faded! Like, what the hell? What is going on? Like, if I can get like a side-by-side compare, this is what I get for trying to make my own bootleg photo cards. Listen, if I wanted to buy a real photo card, it's like $30, not including shipping, for just one. Sue me for making fan projects. Like, I want to give like a side-by-side on the camera, but I don't know if it's gonna focus. Won't focus! Why won't it focus on my phone? I need like shade it somehow. God damn it. But yeah, it turned out shit. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. I even got them like little... I'm so sad. I got them like little matching photo card holders, and this is what I fucking get. What I fucking get. I killed myself. Not tomorrow. Today. Exposure's a bit much, yeah. It's just that there just wasn't enough ink. So the annoying thing is, when I was like, I took the photos over to the desk after printing, because it's like a printing kiosk by, so it was at Tesco's, but it was by a non-Tesco company that just, like, rents out their printing machines to Tesco locations. So, like, I showed I went to the help desk nearby, and I showed them the quality of the card, and then I showed them, like, the image on my phone of what I was supposed to print. And I was like, is there a way that I can get, like, a refund, or can I, like, print them for free on the other machine? Because maybe the other machine isn't out of, like, ink, and they're like, sorry, because this isn't a Tesco device, you have to call, like, their help number on Monday to get a refund. And I'm like, okay. It's Friday afternoon. It's Friday afternoon. I'm right here, right now, at the printing machine. And I can't get a refund until I call someone on Monday and inevitably argue with them over the phone for several hours. So I walked. I was like, fuck, I can't be fucking bothered. I cannot be fucking bothered. It's like, I'm not super, like, mad about getting a refund. It was, like, $3 to print at the machine. I was just moreover mad about the fact that if I did want, like, if I were to genuinely pursue a refund, the amount of hoops that I would have had to jump through, that's what made me, like, more pissed off than anything. That is bullshit. One bow out of bow bow. This is not very bow. But at least Jovial came out fine. Yeah, that was the second printer.
Happy start
So I'm kinda— oh shit!
The very crafted
FURICRAFT,
pant coming
FURICRAFT.
along so
Oh shit,
well
I didn't read Weasel. Thank you
already.
so much. Thank you, MDK. Thank you. I catch what you said. I have got to make that last longer. I'm gonna make that last longer. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. They could have at least been like, okay, go to the other printing machine. Go to the other print machine, and we'll give you one extra print for free or something. You know? But no, you have to call a completely unrelated company. They're not open right now. I have to call them Monday. Bullshit. Bullshit. How do I make these cheeks really squashy? Ah! Oh, come back. Cause like Tachi's fuck ass head is, his cheeks like stick out as much as his ears. And that to look about right. Like that. I feel like the more that I'm adding to this, the more fucked up looking it's getting. Okay, I'll smooth this out, and then I think I'll just like use the box cutter or something to try and trim out the shape that I want, and then we can paint that because I think that's dry enough yet. Okay, actually, that's not looking bad. That's not looking bad. I do want to get those like sculpting tools, but I've kind of hit the point where I'm like, it's getting dark outside. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I sculpt enough to warrant getting like little tools for it, but then alternate way of thinking is maybe I would sculpt more if I had the tools for more things. Ah ha 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 ha. This looks like shit! Actually, it's the final. Oh shit! Hello, Blue! Hi, Tomoe. Hi, Tomoe Carmine. What do you think about HRT? What do you think about HRT? What's your Horsoshi? Who's your Horsoshi? Tomoe Carmine. Tomoe Carmine. She just has the type of name where I can't just say Tomoe, you know? I can't just call her Tomoe. It has to be Tomoe Carmine. It's just the way of the universe at this point. I still think of hormone replacement therapy. I mean, you should. That's kind of the whole joke. That's the whole giggity joke. I remember, I think it was like some post about how FTM can sometimes also be used as an acronym for first time mom. And there were some like very, very confused people joining like subreddits and Facebook groups for very much so a different thing. That was why that one was very funny. This is kind of getting there. I want it to be a lot. Definitely getting there. I think her full name is like how people call full name. Oh, Steve Jobs or Jack Sparrow. Yes. Exactly like that. Tomoe Carmine is Steve Jobs. I'm still not fucking with this shape, I'm not gonna lie. Still not fucking with this shape. Where's my reference image? I did it for myself. There it is. Yeah, I'm entirely off with this shape, actually. Kill it. Destroy it. Start again. I think this shape is a slightly... No, it's actually entirely fucking... You know what I could do? Actually, I might be stupid. I might be stupid. Hold on. I might be stupid. Might is actually an understatement. Might is an understatement. I am... What have I been doing wrong this whole time, guys? Hands up if you know. Hands up if you can take a guess what I've been doing wrong this whole time. That's right. I could have been drawing it. Tricky shape in retrospect. There you go, that's closer. That's closer-ish. No, it's not! I take the play of it. Oh, it's getting dark outside. This one's getting kind of stale, but I feel like it would be kind of a waste of clay could get a new... Okay, there we go. Just need to hydrate it a little bit more. There we go. It's just that easy. Dark outside. I like how it gets dark for you at 9. What's the sun? Yeah, apparently that is a weird UK thing. Whenever I've had friends who are staying in the UK or have like have come from the UK, like moved from out, or like maybe they've gone on vacation somewhere else. Usually one of the main things that sticks in their mind is the sun sets really late in the warm season, but also really early in the cold season. Like in winter, the sun sets at like 3 or 4 in the winter, and then in like the height of summer, the sun maybe won't start setting until like 11. Which is usually a pain for me because I'm the type of person that is like very active with the sun being up or down. So there are times where I'm like, I want to go to my mom's and it's still sunny outside. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's the perfectly normal time to go to my mom's. And I knock on the door and she won't answer, and I'm like, girl, why aren't you answering the door? And she's like, it's fucking 11 o'clock, I'm in bed, go the fuck away. I'm like, oh shit. My bad, G. Sunny outside. That's crazy, it is! It is in retrospect. This doesn't feel about right. Why is this such a difficult shape to recreate? That's not right. That's not right. Okay, I'm scrapping this. I'm gonna come back to this another time, I think. Low-key. I'm sick of it. Low-key sick of it. I'm gonna do that one another time, preferably when I can maybe draw a much better version of it as reference. I think we'll do the boss, the little boss thingy, and then we can call it a day, I think, from there. Where's my other paintbrush? I had 3. Here it is. Okay, making silver. Make like a holographic silvery color is going to be interesting. Oh. I've been listening to Hololive Odyssey a lot lately on loop. It's sad. It's a have a silver pen. Hold on. No, that's blue. This is not silver. Metallic aqua. I have a metallic gray. So many gold. Why have I not a single gray? I mean, I don't really like gray. That's supposed to lie. Oh, fucking damn it! Really? Yeah, well, we'll figure it out. A little exercise in creativity. Good start. Oh, okay, that's actually that's kind of cool. That is kind of cool. Because now that the paint is on, the impression kind of shows up a little bit better on camera. Actually, I do not need to be painting the back. I don't know why I did that. I'm just gonna glue it down. This one is gonna be slightly tricky to get the effect quite right. don't exactly have silver on him from after. But I am thinking, I think there is a silverish color in the paint markers that we got for the Chicky stream. Try and give that a try. And then I also think dry brush is maybe going to be the name of the game. But for the time being, I think that is kind of, because that's pretty heavy on acrylic right now. That is going to take a hot second to dry up. I think that's kind of it. I think this is probably going to be it for today. I think that's kind of the extent of what I can do. I've also kind of spoken about everything that I've wanted, and my painkillers are wearing off, and I want to go lie down. So I think I'm going to put it here. Let me see what else is live right now. As I didn't want today's one to be super, super long. And I wanted to be able to stream at least once. Let's see who is live right now. Ooh. Okay, Alicia has a new outfit. She's got a new outfit reveal, so we'll go over onto Alicia. Hello, Kronos. You're kidding me. I missed the entire stream. I'm sorry, my man. Thanks for streaming. Take care of yourself, boss. See you later. Says Goofity. See you later. Take care, boss. I don't know when the next time I'll be on is. But hopefully if everything goes to plan, I should be hopefully back on, I want to say like, hopefully this upcoming Tuesday. No promises. No promises. Okay, I'm gonna end it here. I have nothing really interesting to say. I'll send you guys over on to Alicia. Thank you guys for being here. I'll post photos of the paws and everything once they're like fully mounted to the leather and you can see what they look like on the jacket. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye!